Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the West Ham Network. Anton here, coming in for a late night chat on the back of our victory over Burnley. So, get all your points in. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, X, TikTok, you name it. We are everywhere. And I'm just intrigued to hear your thoughts on the back of today's game. Of course, I'm over the moon. I'm delighted, and it is been an interesting couple of weeks, hasn't it? Considering where we were at and considering where we're at now. Where we were and where we're at now. And how we've just started to bridge gaps and, interestingly enough, score goals. Now, I've seen an interesting stat. Let me actually see if I can bring that up. This is live, right? So keep your comments coming in. If you want anything to say, I'll try and read them out. I can see people joining on TikTok. I know there's people joining on YouTube, etc. But there's been an interesting bit of information coming out with regards to Paco, our new coach that's came in. And since he's came in, the results and the changes in what West Ham have had. And it's quite interesting, I find, that maybe he's been vital to maybe some of the changes that's happened with West Ham. I'm intrigued. I'm trying to see if I can find it. Frog and Wells in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for joining us. If you're live on TikTok as well, come in and say hi. But listen, at the end of the day, I think the fortunes have changed slightly and we're going to need results to go in our favour. But I wonder if Paco Jimenez has been the key factor for us, to be honest. Megan's in the house. He has had a massive effect. D4 are saying, reckon Leeds are all right. To be honest with you, mate, like, I don't really know who is all right. I'm not even saying that from the point of view of me saying, I'm not saying that from the point of view of going, they got a great result and hi Ben, how you doing, mate? You all right? But I do think that there's still a lot going on in this league. Like I said in one of the West Ham Network chats we've got going on, there was a chat about saying when it came to the Leeds and the Nottingham Forest game, the question was, what result did we want? Alex is in the house. It was amazing today. That's just as well you put a bloody emoji on, Alex. We'll come on to Hermanson in a minute. Listen, I'm never against any West Ham player. I don't want to come across like that. But hey-ho. I've got a feeling you will stay up from Ben. What gives me confidence is we are not giving up ground. And that's true. That's true. But the issue is other teams aren't giving up ground either. That's the biggest issue. And this is why, like, I can see comments even coming in on YouTube. Nick Brown is saying, win Tuesday night and for me we stay up. Need to make it a European night down there. I think we can make that atmosphere great, but I think the biggest issue here, Nick, is going to be that even if we do win, it depends on other results as well. Currently, we are 3 from there, and we need to still keep doing the job. And how many times this season have you seen West Ham slip up against other teams? How many times? That's the biggest issue, isn't it? And I do genuinely, I'm just kind of taking a look at the league just now, right? And it's too easy for us to turn around and suggest that Leeds and Spurs and Crystal Palace aren't in this fight. And out of every team in that bottom half, you could look at Leeds and think, right, okay, they've got something at Ellen Road there. They are going to take the games to teams. They're Crystal Palace and Spurs look like they're on free for all. I mean, Spurs look like they've got players that clearly don't want to be there. Like, possibly, like, it feels like they've got 11 players that are starting that don't want to be there, that are there for the paycheck. If I was a Spurs fan, man, I would be genuinely, sincerely worried. Sincerely worried. Looking below you, not 100% sure where you're going to pick up points, let me just actually have a look at Tottenham. And I know this is not about Spurs as such, but let's have a look at their fixtures coming up. I'm sure they've got wild, they have got pretty crazy fixtures coming up. They've got Newcastle at home, okay, you could say it like that, but then they've got Arsenal, and then they've got Fulham. Like, the next 3 games for them, man, are huge. 2 of them at home, 1 of them against number 1 in the league. I do think other teams are going to fall in. I don't think this is just going to be down to 1. But West Ham have to worry about ourselves, and that's the biggest concern I've got, is just focus on ourselves and get our results over the line, because as things stands, we don't win another point, we're going down. Simple as that. Simple as that. And even then, when you look at the goal difference, everyone currently has, above us, has a superior goal difference. Forest have got a superior goal difference by 4. So even if we win and they lose, and let's say it's just by 1 goal either side, they've still got a superior goal difference. So we've got a few things we need to overturn. However, 4 or 5 weeks ago, would I've put us where we are at? Definitely not. Don't like Hermansen, but if your clean sheets are coming, keep them coming. It's going to be interesting, because I genuinely think Hermansen played. I was surprised today, and I said this in the comments. I don't actually know if Hermansen done anything different to what Areola would have done in today's game, to be honest. And there were several times in the game that I was worried every time he got the ball, or every time the ball kind of came near him, or every time a defender played the ball back. There were several concerns for me, but I'm not trying to say, I think his distribution's definitely fine, but at the end of the day, he's there to be a keeper, and I don't think any of Areola's distributions have led to errors that have led to goals as well. Was nervous about the lineup today, but Nuno got it spot on, and I think Hermansen did well. He definitely dealt with some tricky crosses. I think Areola could have flapped a couple. I certainly don't think they were like, if there was a game that you were going to include him in, I think this was it. And this is why when we come on to Disasi as well, so put your comments in around about Disasi and let me know your thoughts on what his performance was like. Dylan says Hermansen catches the ball, which Areola lacks, and allows us to take some control back. What's my opinion on Declan Rice being hated by West Ham fans? Hardeth. I don't think Declan Rice is hated. I think there's a small minority that dislike him a lot because he went to a London rival to win trophies, which he hasn't won yet. The best way I could describe it is I just fell out with a mate. But I don't doubt for a second he'll be back at the club one day. But he's given me some of the best memories I've ever had as a West Ham fan. And he is a top guy, like, no doubts about that. But I can't look at him in an Arsenal shirt. The funny thing is, he would have probably gained shitloads more respect if he had maybe gone to Real Madrid or abroad. I'd have bought his shirt, put his name on his back, all that sort of stuff. But it is what it is. Any predictions on the United game on Tuesday? Shit, man, we need to turn up. Holy shit, we need to turn up. And Man United are on form. And I think I said even when our West Ham Network chat, when I was talking about the game, especially the second half, I was like, shit, if you play that Manchester United team in that second half, our second half, I think it would have been like a Chelsea rerun again. But what we have got is an interesting stat. I think we're going ahead in the first 15 minutes of the last 4 games or something like that. But it's just making sure we can see the game out. Nicky Brown is saying in the last 6 seasons, 10 wins keeps you up. Another 4 or 5 wins and we're safe. I fancy it. I know, man. I know, but shit. 4 or 5 wins and then we're safe. So what is that? 5 gives us 15 more points. And that takes us to 38. And then you look at the same with Spurs. Shit, man. It's going to go to the wire, innit? This is going to go to the wire. Megan's in the house. Palace, Forest and Spuds are in this. Leeds, I think, are on a run. We win. We will be okay. Love seeing West Ham since 2026. New fight, new spirit. Come on, you irons from Megan. Yes, I know. I definitely think every team that you've just mentioned there, Megan, are still in this fight. Leeds are on a run, but that can all come crashing down. We know that fairly well. And I just certainly wouldn't think that any team is ruled out at this moment in time. So, yeah, I'm keeping them in the mix here. I think we need 42 plus points with the fixture balances, and that's you asking us to pick up another 19 points from 13 games. That's a lot. Shit, that's a lot, innit? Love to win the last game of the season and net sent Spurs down. Could you imagine, Charlie boy? Could you imagine, mate? Wins the West Ham Man United game. It's on Tuesday. Man United are doable if we turn up like against Sunderland. I think definitely. But what's not doable is turning up like we did in the second half of the game against Burnley, because I do think teams like them, especially with the upturn in form that they've had and the style of play that they're playing, the free-flow play that they're playing, will definitely get at West Ham like that. But let's talk about 𝗓𝗓𝗧 for a second. What's your thoughts on him? Because obviously coming in, he's not had a competitive game since April of last year. Competitive game since April of last year. So it was definitely, a concern, but it seems to be like it paid off. It was the right decision to give him the game time against Burnley, which gives him prepared and gets him prepared for the game against Manchester United. So he's got his debut out of the way. And I suppose you could say he had a point to prove, and he got a clean sheet. So 𝗓𝗓𝗧 comes into the game and steps up when he needs to. And I think he looks calm. He looks collected. Looks like he's going to take no nonsense either as well. Madhav is saying thought he's done well for not having played for a while. Not great, but okay. I think Leeds are better than... Where's that comment gone? I think Leeds are better than us when we had to focus on points and not competition anymore. 𝗓𝗓𝗧 done well. Yeah, I think he did. Graham says, to be honest, I think it's hard to judge Hermansen on this game. The centre-backs mostly covered well and Burnley weren't good, so it wasn't the hardest game for a keeper. Good debut for 𝗓𝗓𝗧. Graham says we need 5 more games and a pick up a draw or two. We've got to get wins against Everton and probably Fulham away. It's not easy still from Graham, 100%. Just typical West Ham to stop him getting his haircut. Tuesday could be a huge for our season. We get 3 points. So nervous. That's in reference, Megan, to the... there was a chat going on in the West Ham network and they were asking who it was, and I looked into it. So the guy's called the United Strand. And he's not getting his haircut until Manchester United win 5 games on the trot. And he's been doing it for like over 400 days because they've not won a game, 5 games on the trot. Now they've got to 4 and West Ham are next. Not getting too excited just because it's Burnley. They don't have much threat up top. You on beak, lad? I have no idea what that means, mate. Jake, mate, what does that mean? Am I on beak? Really don't get the haircut stuff. Would look bad on Man United to advertise it. We're not losing to you on Tuesday from Bad Ham. Listen, it's fine. It's fine that you've got confidence. And as West Ham fans, we're lacking that confidence, in any ounce of confidence we'll grab. I couldn't believe Manchester United have gone all the way up to the 4th in the league. I could not genuinely believe it. But it just shows you what an upturn in form can do, and it just shows you how tight the league is. It's wild up there. It's wild down below as well. Hey Anton, will Nuno start against United with Tati and Wilson? I think that was a one-off today. I completely agree with you. I don't think Wilson will start for Manchester United. I think that was the perfect game. I suppose if you were going to choose a game to play, I don't think I would have started with him anyway today either. I don't think Wilson is a starter for West Ham. I definitely think he's a coming off the bench type of player. And I think he would be happy knowing he's going to get 30 minutes. And I think he will get 30 minutes, game in and game out. Sorry for keep yawning. I am actually absolutely fucking knackered. But I do think that was a one-off today. It's going to be interesting, no Monday, to see what he does with the goalkeeper. That's the key part here, because Manchester United is a different ballgame compared to Burnley. And up until, 4 or 5 games ago, many people were calling that Areola was West Ham's hammer of the year as things were standing. So, Josh says, get yourself to bed, pal. Good game to sleep on. Ryan Farrell says, still think West Ham will stay up with the season, need to win games and get out the relegation zone. Martin says, hi, I've never seen you before, but like your channel, confidence. I wasn't confident till the 85th minute. Thank you, Martin. Yeah, we are on the West Ham Network. We've been around on YouTube for years, on Facebook, on X, all that sort of stuff, and we're just kind of making a bit of a push on TikTok just to see what that world is around. So thank you for joining us, mate. If we lock up 𝗟𝗟𝗧𝗘, and Castanelos, it will be an easy game. Interestingly, Brad Nam, you're a Manchester United fan, for anyone that doesn't know, on YouTube, X and Facebook that's watching, got a Manchester United fan in the TikTok, and he's saying that if we lock up specific players, but I think you've pinpointed the wrong players, if I'm being honest with you, because we've got two other players that are our new signings that cause absolute havoc and allow the freedom for Bowen and Somerville, and teams seem to be struggling with their work rate. And that's something West Ham haven't had the first part of this season since we've signed these two boys. Please do not underestimate the workload and the work rate of Tate Castanelos and Pablo, even though Pablo didn't start. And I think, to be honest with you, I think that we could see the difference in him not starting today. But again, you just got to look at someone like Tate's heat map. It's very, very interesting to look at his heat map and how much effort he makes when he's on and off the ball. But, you know, he just gets involved all the time. No matter where he is, he's getting stuck in and he's covering so much ground in a game. Left, right and centre. He's top notch. Let me see what else everyone else is saying. Do you think Adama was a good signing or no? I mean, there's rumours going around that we're paying him well over 100k a week, which if we are, it doesn't surprise me, but it's a lot of money. And I do think it is a good signing, to be honest with you, because imagine you're in the 75th minute and you're chasing a game and Somerville's having a bit of a stinker or struggling or tired or injured. Who else do you want to come off the bench than Adama Traore? You know what I mean? 𝗟𝗪𝗧𝗘 did not really put a foot wrong today, considering he's not played since April, I believe. Almost made Mavro show his assertiveness. Thought he made Mavro better today. Does Todibo go back in? I think Todibo does go back in, but I think he only goes back in if there's a sign of weakness in Dinos, and if we're a winning team. You know, he's got 2 more games now to prove his worth, as does 𝗟𝗪𝗧𝗘, to be honest with you. It's not guaranteed fact that he's going to start and be in the team. So there needs to be consistency now. That's what they need, is real. Oh, sugar. What is going on here? How did that swipe left? No, that's it. Sorry. Where are we? Let me see. It does suit West Ham, I think, to be fair. Also, 𝗟𝗪𝗛𝗧𝗘 had a very underrated performance today. He's been mustered for 5-6 games in a row now, 100%. Since he's been back, he seems to be stepping up to the plate, definitely. Lawrence is in the house. Good to see you, my friend, from Lexington, Kentucky. It was a great result today. No luck today, Michael. You're talking about betting. Hull City let me down. I'll go again tomorrow. When was the last time I had 2 quality goals like today? Brilliant passes and finishing. That is clear. Like the finishing and the style of play and the build-up play to those 2 goals were top-notch. Lawrence, 100%, mate. Very, very good goals. Clear, professional, Premier League, top-quality goals. When you look at them back, watch the build-up, watch everything about them. I love Tate. He won't score a load of goals, but his work rate is unreal and brings us further up. He does, mate. 100%. I'm a Glasgow Gunner. Good to see another Scot living in an English club. Yeah. How Scott Parker hasn't been sacked is a genuine mystery. I tell you what, Jack, what's interesting about Scott Parker is that if Burnley go down, and where does that put them in the league, like in terms of points, etc.? Let's have a look at the bottom. I mean, that's West Ham are 8 points. You know, it's inevitable that they're heading in the wrong direction, isn't it? But when Burnley go down, they're going to want a Scott Parker type manager. So, you know, they're building and they've probably got a squad good enough to get back up again. So why would they? Mandy says we now have a decent centre back replacement because Kilman has 0 confidence. You can say that again. Kilman's shot of confidence, and you can see that now that the manager's not even bringing him on off the bench. Where are we? Who go downs with Burnley and Wolves? That's a question and a half, Cameron, isn't it? I mean, it literally is. I think from Spurs down, anyone's in the mix. Anyone is in the mix. If we go down, Nuno, in my opinion, is the right man to bring us straight back up. Let's hope we don't, Steve. I see your point, but I'm not sure. Manchester United are up next. Yes, they are. Aaron's asking me, hey mate, if you could have brought any player on January, who would you have brought in? Oh, what a question. Who would I have brought in January? That's a good question, man. I'm not going to turn around and say Charlie Creswell because I don't think he's worth the money. I get why teams need to pay the money if they need it's the right player, but that's a lot. Imagine throwing that amount of money at Charlie Creswell. It's not necessarily proven. Like, for me, that's a no. There was something, I know people are going to laugh at this, right? But there's something about John Duran. There was something about John Duran. 100%. Something about him. I'm not saying he's the one. I don't know is the answer to the question. Man says can't win all the time. 100%. Great Escape Part 2. The likes are coming up for Anton coming on this slate. They are. So if you're watching on YouTube, hit the thumbs up. If you're watching on Facebook, hit the like button. If you're watching on TikTok, I believe you just tap the screen. Tap the screen. That gives us all those hearts and that lets us know that you care. The confidence in Somerville is honestly a pleasure to watch. Chalk and cheese from before Forest to after incorrectly ruled out. 100%. 5 goals in 5 games for Crescencio Somerville, who is enjoying the new lease of life he's been given. And he's been given a new lease of life because we've brought players in who take the attention away from him and gives him the ability to run at defenders, which is something he's designed to do. And he's been able to distribute the ball a lot earlier than what he was before because the pressure was put onto him, because I felt like sometimes Paquetá put the pressure onto him. So we're seeing the player that we bought once and for all, because it's as if Nuno's looked at the team and gone, where's the work rate? Who the hell is going to run around this team? And in our West Ham Network chat, the question is, should we stay up? How are we going to keep a hold of Somerville and Fernandes? So, yeah, it's going to be a tough one, isn't it? I noticed both Tate's headed goals QPR today were excellent, directed downwards, 100%. He looks like a quality player. I don't think he's going to score loads, as someone said in the chat earlier on, but I do think he's going to be top notch. I would not want him to take us back up. Much rather new manager and build a squad ready, Jack, but let's hope that doesn't happen, mate. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Players gelling so much better. Just the last 45. That's the main concern. Seems to be the second half of West Ham is causing us problem. Josh is saying hate it because I accepted relegation a few weeks ago and this hope will kill me if we go down. I've done a video on this several weeks ago, Josh, where I said the hope is killing me because pre-QPR, I was like, I don't see West Ham winning another game. But then I agreed that after making a few signings, I put the stake in the ground and I'd said, moving forward, a reset, and I'll take it from there. And the reset's working. All bar the second half against Chelsea, it's working. Yeah, I don't know about Duran. I'm just trying to think outside the box a little bit, but I'm just not going to say Charlie Creswell. Steve says, honestly believe we can beat United on Tuesday and beat Bournemouth and then go out and get our only second win at Anfield in 63 years. 100%. No, I do. If we get relegated, would Tate stay? They're such good questions. I don't really know the answers to that because there'll be clauses 100% in their contracts. I think players like that will know. But, you know, I think players like Tate, all these players, right, have points to prove. We're in a World Cup year. Everyone will want to show their worth. I'm telling you that now. People might look at bloody Pablo who's been brought as a striker. If you're the Portuguese coach, you're looking at Pablo, right, and you're going, was he playing as a number 10? Look at the work rate and look what he's allowing other players to do around him. And then what have you got? You've got an opportunity in front of goal. You can sniff it. You can take a chance. Keep playing at that rate. You put your name in the mix and you're a contender. 100%. And then you look at Fernandes. Honestly, he's so special. So special, man. So special. He was there before Lawrence. He was going 100% after 𝗓𝗏𝗧 left, but since 𝗓𝗏𝗧's gone, he's taken that role so strongly and so well. 3 factors: Paco coming in, Pablo and Tati joining, but also 𝗓𝗏𝗧 leaving. Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head, in my honest opinion. 100%. Good to see you all. Thanks, Joe, for joining on TikTok. Leon joined. Frank the Tank joined. Bungie joined. Lazaro joined. God, there's so many people. Is that how TikTok works? Am I worried about relegation, honestly, from Henry? 100%, mate. 100%. Of course I am. Who wouldn't be? West Ham can't afford to go down. Not financially. Of course not financially. But in terms of like the stature of the club and the stadium that we're in, with the fans the way they're feeling. Fans are voting with their feet now. Let alone the fact if we go down to the Championship, they'll vote even stronger. I voted with my seat. I voted with my feet this year. You lot staying up, Spurs are going down. Could you imagine, Tonto? Could you imagine? Football 88's in the house on TikTok. We have Man United and Bournemouth next. And of course, we've got the FA Cup. With Man United's Man City coming up with Liverpool, Mandy. Just a pity Forest's next game is at home to Wolves. Yeah, but Wolves have got a point to prove again. Just got a point to prove. We want to give something back to the fans, and we just need to hope they need to do us a favour, because they didn't do us a favour when they smashed us. Joe Louise says at times you can see it working on the pitch. Heads go down. We need consistency as usual. 100%, Joe. We do. We lack that in an abundance. The acid test is manure on Tuesday. Both teams in good form. On the plus side, Nottingham Forest have Euro games to bog them down. They do. And I bet you right now the owner of them is thinking, holy shit, what have we got ourselves into? I can't predict the score, Joshua. I cannot, mate. I really think we can drag the Spuds into the mix. Look at their fixtures. We need to unleash 𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗧 on Shaw. Mandy says, yes, Steve, they have some big players coming back in a couple of weeks. Opinion on Scarl's not experienced enough for a relegation battle with Martin Cowan. I think it's inevitable that Diouf was going to come into the mix, to be honest with you. But I think the way Nuno's maybe managed it has been better than maybe other managers, because he's still giving him some game time as well. So I do have to give him a bit of credit for that. But I think it was inevitable that he was going to come in, because he gives us an option going forward. When was he substituted? Let me have a look and see when he was substituted. When did he come on? He got 15 minutes. All these Scarls did, so I think he's done a decent job there. Honestly, believe we'll do it. If we do, I think next season will be much better. I agree with you. I do agree with you. If we survive, I think next year, look at the amount of players we've cleared out. I think 𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗧's build seems to hinder his running. Jury's out. Well, listen, nobody's trying to deny the fact it doesn't necessarily hinder his running. He's not the technically gifted footballer. And he's not really been built or designed like that, or played or put out to play like that. He's a battering ram. And a bit like the way that you think Antonio would have been as well. Kay's in the house, Burnley fan. We made you look great today. We were shocking. Parker is clueless. Kay, but the thing I'll say to you is I agree with you on that. I mean, I don't think we looked... I thought we looked... It was just a solid performance. We came up and done a job. That's the only way I can describe that. Against a struggling Burnley side. So, yeah. Lawrence is saying, we're so back and love what I'm seeing, but we need to put together 2 strong halves. Scott says Leeds have a much easier run than we do. Our next 6 are not easy. I don't really know who is easy in the Premier League anymore, if I'm being really honest with you. You know, taking aside the top 3 or 4, well, I'm going to say top 4 now, but Man United are in that top 4, but I suppose not even the top 3. I don't actually know who is easy in the league anymore. I support Leeds, even though we're 6 points ahead of you. I'm still not 100% sure we'll stay up. I totally agree with you, Henry. I'd love to see us catch Spurs. Leeds are a good team. Parker out, Joe's saying. Do we miss 𝗓𝗏𝗧? No, we don't, mate. We don't. It's a shame the way it's ended, but we certainly do not miss 𝗓𝗏𝗧, because we need warriors, and he is a warrior, but a different type of warrior. He's a luxury player. and not a player that West Ham needed in a relegation battle. And coming off the back of all the issues that he's had, I think West Ham done really well to get the money we got for him, to be honest with you. Just need to let Nuno do his job from Irons 1980 and get off his back. Palace is a team we might be able to catch. Leeds have tricky fixtures incoming, so do Spuds. As a Leeds fan, I'm hopeful you'll stay up. We have makings of a great side building around Fernandes and Somerville. Add some of your academy product and the future is bright. I would rather have Leeds next 6 than ours. We've played 100% better since he has gone. I completely agree with you, David, 100%. Leeds fan here, Forest, Burnley and Wolves go down. Jeez, I mean, there's several clubs in free fall right now, definitely, and we need to take advantage of that. But we need to deal with ourselves. We need to get the points on the board. That's the key issue here. Alfie says, asked Alex this, who wins, a team of Bowens or a team of Fernandez's? Holy shit, it's a great question. What a question. Question I've just been asked is, who wins, a team of Bowens or a team of Fernandez's? I genuinely don't know how to answer that. Do not know how to answer that. I can't give you a score prediction for the Man United game because I'm not even mentally ready for it. Even though I'm thinking about it, I'm not mentally ready to comprehend, because I'm still trying to understand some of the decisions that were made today with West Ham as well. I swear if you turn to Prime Brazil on Tuesday, I will go mad. Early score, I take it you're a Man United fan. That's funny. Who do I want to win the Prem? West Ham, mate. Darren, West Ham. Follow you through bad and good. I promises of fading dreams. Never take the stand out of me. Alfie, I reckon Fernandes, cause he's more rounded, can cover more positions, but it's tough. Yeah, but you can't ever. I mean, I'm not saying you're going to fault Bowen in his record at West Ham. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. I think we can all agree Wolves and Burnley have gone down already. It's now between West Ham, Forest, Leeds. Mate, you can and you have to put Palace and you have to put Spurs in there. You do. Spurs be lucky to get any points from the next few games. It's tough. Fernandes is 20. Will be playing like Real Madrid or Barcelona in a few years. If we can keep him for one more, we'll be lucky. He is phenomenal footballer. He is. He is. He's brilliant. Fernandes is brilliant. And do you know what's going to happen here, right? He's going to turn up, whatever the result against Manchester United, we're going to turn up against Manchester United, right? And Manchester United fans are going to go, and then suddenly he's going to get attention because he's going to have a good game against Manchester United, and then suddenly goes, who's that player? Well, we all know who that player is. I can see Spurs going down pretty sharpish as well. Lawrence, thank you very much, mate. You didn't need to do that, so thank you for $10. We can do this. Thank you very much for the kind donation, mate. Scott, you said you could rather have Leeds next fixtures rather than ours. Have you seen their next 3 games? Chelsea, Villa and City. Megan, imagine singing our Fernandes. He's better than yours on Tuesday. Could you imagine that? Scott, you say, I have say today the best man management to know is done. No complaints about subs or starters. Interestingly enough, I thought his sub for bringing Potts on was the perfect timing because Burnley were picking up in the game and were causing us concerns through the middle, and we really needed those extra legs in the middle of the park, and bringing on Potts was the right decision. It really nullified any of the threats, definitely, 100%. How much do you rotate for Burton? Let's get by Man United first, then I'll answer that question. Actually, like Hermanson, so calm with the passing. He definitely is. I mean, clearly a better distributor of the ball, but I'm still not convinced. Fernandes was honestly being metal, pace, shooting, passing, dribbling, defending. Nuno got it spot on with the subs today, mate. He did. Yep, 100%. We must keep Somerville and Fernandes. Joseph J. Jones, 100%, mate. Listen, your song. I love your song, mate. Love it. Follow you through bad and good. Never take the stand out of me and you. Bleed claret and blue. If anyone hasn't, go and check out Joseph J. Jones' new song, Take the Stand Out of Me. You can get it everywhere now. On Spotify, on Apple Music, all that sort of stuff. And then obviously give a donation to DT38 as well. Pot sub was a great move, it really was. We have Manure, Man City, Liverpool, Aston Villa in our next 6. Steve says, only change to the starting lineup I would have made today would have been Magasa in for Souček. Honestly, right now, I'm happy, clearly happy with where Souček is for me. 100%. I'm happy with him being in there. If you do manage to stay up this season, do you think you'll go down next season? No, mate. I don't think we will if we stay up. Pablo wasn't injured. Someone said they seen him kind of limping around, but Pablo wasn't injured, Ace. Wonder why Magasa has been dropped. He was decent. No worries, mate. I really appreciate the song. And as you can see, some people in the chat as well also appreciate the song. It's very cool. Very, very cool. Very cool. Hits home. Right. It's a late one. So, on that note, yeah, you are pleased for Tati getting his first goal, Premier League goal. 𝗓𝗏𝗧𝗘 definitely an upgrade on 𝗕𝗏𝗏 and only 15 million if we stay up. Hi, mate, from Viper. Good to see you, my friend. Souček is so slow. Love the guy, but zero pace. He isn't, but he does do a job. He does do a job. He goes about his business and just does his job, doesn't he? Listen, it's a late one. I'm going to head because I do need to go to bed. I've been yawning during this stream, so thank you for joining us. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment. If you're on TikTok, tap. I don't know what you do. X, follow, Facebook, follow. I don't know. Just do it all. But either way, West Ham walked away with 3 points. We'll take that. Everyone who's watching, thank you very much for joining us. It's been much appreciated, and we'll be back tomorrow with the breakdown. Yeah, peace and love. Come on, you irons.